Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'll be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Fight Night 272. Again, now this one is actually going to be our main card opener. Again, they have changed the bout order on me again. Ain't that just fun when the UFC does it? Oh well, I still have a job to do at the end of the day. And that's to break down fights. In this one, we have Robert Ruchala taking on Jose Delano. This is going to be a very, very fun fight. Most should mostly be a stand-up battle of strikers, though Ruchala probably a bit more of the grappler in this sense. That being said, Delano has some grappling to him as well, but this should be mostly played out on the feet, where both guys are pretty comfortable. Oh, but they go about it very differently. Overall, this is going to be very exciting, and of all the debuting fighters on this card, like Dakota Hope, I think Jose Delano is the one I'm most excited for because he looks like a finished product already, or a very good finished product. That said, let's look at our two fighters. Starting with Jose Delano, he's currently 16-3 as professional, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. That loss was a few years ago, about 3 years and 2 months, to Gabriel Santos, who's pretty good in the UFC right now. Since then, went on a 4-fight win streak in the LFA, and up into his contender series win, where I gotta be honest, that was one of the best performances I saw last year on Contender Series. Delano looks so slick, so smooth, and looked like just a very good technician out there. Very good at long range kicking, mid range punching, and close range elbows and knees. Delano seems like a finished product already. Now he's taking on Robert Ruchala, who is 11-2 as a professional, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. For Ruchala, pretty good fighter from KSW. Never fought for the belt or anything, but pretty fun, entertaining fighter. Had just recently lost his UFC debut last September to William Gomes. But to be honest, that was a pretty tough assignment. William Gomes is a pretty good fighter, and someone who isn't easy for debut, especially or for someone like Ruchala. Honestly, like I said, it should be a fun battle of strikers. I think Ruchala pretty all right on the feet. His grappling, I would think, is a bit more technical, a bit more fun. His wrestling may not be his best aspect, but on the feet, he's pretty good as well. Overall, like I said, which should be a very fun fight for sure. But with that said, let's get down to the breakdown. Starting with Ruchala, he's a solid striker. I think a bit more on the structure side. He does a good job of throwing combinations that flow into kicks, fights at range, can mix in stance switching. Not very flashy, but effective. Ruchala, though, it seems he favors that jumping, spinning back kick, or that's what he threw a lot in the William Gomes fight, which, at times can catch opponents off guard if timed right. Not always the most successful technique, but it has its moments. I'd say Ruchala, though, like I said, his grappling might be better. Pretty good positionally, very good in the scrambles. It's just he always he has that one weakness with that grappling. A lot of good grapplers do. His wrestling doesn't translate as well. Usually, when Ruchala can show off his grappling, it's usually when fighters try and take him down is usually when that happens. Overall, though, good, well-rounded striker, good grappler. Again, basic wrestling. And overall, I'd say Ruchala's good, but more basic, at least in comparison to his opponent, in this case, Jose Delano. Now, looking at Delano himself, this guy is slick, very slick. And one of the things I just thought of when I saw him on Contender Series was this guy looks so UFC ready. Just looks ready to compete with some of the better featherweights in the division. Delano, he's got sharp head movement, clean combinations, a real power, and excellent timing. Honestly, the only reason why he didn't knock out his opponent on Contender Series was because, Manuel Exparzo had just such a chin on him. Literally, that Manuel took so many shots and probably would have KO'd lesser fighters. And I think that just shows just how good or how tough Argentinian fighters are. But still, Delano, he looks like finished goods. He looks very ready. Everything else, technical, very polished, and that's what stands out the most about Delano. Like I said, slick head movement, very good at switching stances, and can attack from all ranges with very, very good technique. So looking at it just stylistically, I think this fight is Ruchala's structure and variety versus Delano's precision and slickness. Ruchala, in theory, his path to victory would be keep it competitive with volume, mix things up, whether it's striking or grappling or his strikes, and maybe create some chaos in there. Because in a clean, technical striking battle, Delano is going to have the edge here. As Delano, in my opinion, is simply the more refined striker of the two. He has better head movement, picks his shots better, and just lands the cleaner and more accurate strikes. In a fight where both guys want to strike, mostly those details matter. Usually, the guy who has better defense, better defensive movement, and the better accuracy usually is going to win the fight. Unless, the other one just hits with more power, because power at the end of the day is the ultimate equalizer. So overall, I think Ruchala is a good fighter. I honestly think it's just like he's been fed to the wolves already. William Gomes, tough fight for your debut. Now Jose Delano, who's one of the prospects, I think, in last year's contender series. He's got the tools and he could make this competitive, but it's a tough matchup for him, especially only a sophomore effort in his UFC career. Because Delano, he looks like a guy who's ready right now. And when you have that technical sharpness, I think I honestly think Delano is going to stand out quickly in this featherweight division. He already looks so damn good, so damn slick, and he's just so good. I can't really sing his praises enough without obviously looking at his UFC debut, and more people will probably get a chance to see what I'm talking about if you haven't watched him in the LFA or something. So for my official pick, I'm going to go with Jose Delano, and I'm going to pick him via decision in this fight. I can see a late TKO as well, and while I think Ruchala will have his moments, maybe even some success, I just think over time, Delano's technique, timing, and precision is going to take over the fight. And like I said, maybe find a finish, though, given Ruchala has historically been very tough to take out of there. He's only lost twice, and one of those was to a decision, and then the other a soccer kick to the body. I could see maybe Delano doing something similar to that, but again, I'm probably going to favor the decision in this one. So once again, I'm picking Jose Delano, and I'm going to pick him via decision in this fight. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. And remember, stay calm, stay respectful, and enjoy the violence. I'll see y'all next time.